Hey, this is Deepak here from digitaldeepak.com and welcome to the Digital Marketing Agency Mastery course. In this course, we are going to learn about everything that is need to be learned regarding starting a digital marketing agency. So I have been running a digital marketing agency called PixelTrack for the past 2 years, and a lot of my students wanted me to create a digital marketing agency course to teach them how to start a digital marketing agency and grow it. So we are just going to discuss everything that is required related to digital marketing agency, and this is going to be a very long course, probably spanning several videos, and it is going to take some time for you to complete this course. So rather than watching all the videos and then starting your digital marketing agency, I would recommend that you get started with the videos that you see and start taking some action and keep referring back to the videos whenever you have any questions. And this course is also a very dynamic course. So I will be sharing the videos with my students, and as students start implementing and whatever questions you have, I will be creating more videos about it, and I will be constantly updating this course as well. So there is a lot to cover, and let's get started. So here I am on a mind map file, and I believe this is the best way to go about learning, because instead of slides, mind map is going to help you organize your information much better, and you will also be getting this mind map as part of the course, right? So here we will start with my journey and how I got here to start a digital marketing agency. So many of you might already know about my journey, but I will just give you a short recap of what I have been up to and how I got to start a digital marketing agency. So 2008 to 2012, I was running my motorcycle blog called bikeadvice.in, and bikeadvice.in used to get like 1 million page views a month, and that is how I learned digital marketing by growing my blog. So 2012 to 2016, I worked in a lot of different startup companies in which I was working as a digital marketing manager. So some of the well-known companies that I have worked with are Exotel, Practo, Instamojo, Razorpay, and MoEngage. So these were all a mix of B2C and B2B startups, and that gave me a lot of experience on learning how to run campaigns at a very large scale and how to run campaigns to build a very big brand. So that I learned. And from 2017 to 2019 to 2017 to now, I have been doing a bunch of different things. So one project I started was optinchat.com, which is an online email collection tool like Optin Monster. So that is one project I did. It is still running as a company. And then I grew digitaldeepak.com into a training portal. So Digital Deepak was started in 2013 itself as a side blog. So while I was in my jobs 2012 to 2016, I started digitaldeepak.com and I started blogging and slowly started building an email list on my blog. And with the email list, I was able to start promoting courses in 2016 and started making money. So you might already have been a student of my courses. So I have done Google Ads course, Facebook Ads course, SEO, and a bunch of others, other digital marketing courses. So total 11 courses we have launched, and in the meantime I have also got a partner who is Sanjay Shenoy. You might already know him, and we started creating courses together. So in the meantime, we also started PixelTrack. So PixelTrack is our digital marketing agency, and in PixelTrack we primarily provide digital marketing services, and we have had some very good clients including HDFC, Mercedes-Benz, Your Story, and recently we have even signed up Scriptbox as a client. So in the past 6 months, we have seen very good growth with the agency, and we have worked with a lot of clients, got a lot of results for them, and that gives us a lot of experience in how to run digital marketing campaigns for different verticals, and that helps us make better training courses. So that's how the journey has been from 2017 until now. So if you don't know much about me, then I recommend that you go ahead and watch my TEDx talk about blogging and how blogging changed my life. It all started with blogging, right? So you can follow a different journey. You don't necessarily need to follow my own journey, but if you don't know how to start your journey, then I would say that you start with the blog. So your journey, how it should be, I would recommend. You can take any path to go to this journey, but all these paths you need, right? So first you need to learn digital marketing. So learning digital marketing, at that time when I got started, there was not too many resources online to learn digital marketing, but now you have plenty of resources. You have my course, you have other people who are creating courses. So first learn digital marketing, and then you have to implement digital marketing, right? So without implementing, you are not going to remember the learning, and the learning is not going to convert into understanding. So you have to implement digital marketing, and to implement digital marketing, you can start a blog, you can start a YouTube channel, you can start a Facebook group, and then you can go ahead and start an e-commerce website through Shopify or whatever. And you can maybe launch ebooks as well and see how it works. So if you do all this, then you are going to implement what you have learned in digital marketing. And then once you have all these assets, then you can go ahead and start paid advertising campaigns, and you can build an email list. And all this, once you do, that's when you will have some expertise for learning digital marketing and understand what digital marketing involves. So you have to implement digital marketing, and then you have to build your personal brand. So building a personal brand is very important before you build a digital marketing agency, because see, for me, first I had learning for digital marketing using the projects that I have done. Then I had worked at various companies also, and then I was learning digital marketing by running campaigns for them. And now you see, I have done projects. So apart from digitaldeepak.com being a very good hub for training people on various skills and creating digital marketing training itself as a solid business, I am also able to get a lot of personal brand through my website digitaldeepak.com, and because of this personal brand, I am getting a lot of clients for Pixeltrack and a lot of requests. So building your personal brand is important, because initially people are not going to trust your brand, they are going to trust your personal brand, and because that is what they know. So Pixeltrack tomorrow can become a very big company, and Pixeltrack can be known for bringing results as a team. But before that happens, first I have to get clients through my personal brand. So I am basically rubbing off my personal brand onto my brand Pixeltrack, and Pixeltrack is not just me, it's also Sanjay Shenoy. And tomorrow we might be having more experts on our platform, and as we have more experts, the brand of Pixeltrack will keep growing as multiple personal brands rub off their brand into Pixeltrack, right? So you have to start with a personal brand, and you have to go ahead and specialize in one area, right? So specialize in one field. So when you start your journey, you cannot be known as I am everything for everyone, right? You cannot say that, hey, I'm a marketing expert, I will help you do marketing. You have to be more specific. Digital marketing is more specific than just marketing, but that again is not very specific. Right now there's too much competition out there, and there are so many people in the field. You have to be just known for one thing, right? Be known for one thing, and that could be anything. And it could be SEO. Like for example, you could do SEO for e-commerce, or let's say building funnels for politicians. It could be anything, but it has to be one thing, because if you are trying to be everything to everyone, then you will be a no one, right? So you cannot go ahead and try to be this expert which everyone will reach out to, and you don't have that much bandwidth either. So you have to be known as something like, specializing on one thing. So if you look at my own personal brand, so if you look at Pixel Track's focus, so let's put clients inside this and I will tell you what Pixel Track's focus is. So Pixel Track's focus is deep marketing. So that's how we have been building our brand, and that's where we are specializing. So deep marketing is basically building personal brands, and building personal brands can be for, politicians, it can be for trainers, and it can be for professionals. So professionals will include CAs, lawyers, business coaches, so all these areas we are focusing on. And as we gain more and more experience in the specific area which I call as deep marketing, which is basically going ahead and trying to build a relationship to your prospects using your personal brand and personal story. So that's what is the focus of Pixel Track, and that's what I recommend you do as well. So specialize in one field, be known for one thing, and eventually go ahead and try to capture one vertical of the market and one horizontal of the market. So there are multiple areas in digital marketing, right? So if you consider different industry verticals as different columns in a sheet, let's say you have the medical industry, you have the automobile industry, you have the insurance industry, the banking industry, the investment industry. A lot of industries are there, and then you have a lot of horizontals, which is, let's say, SEO, email marketing. So what I recommend is that you focus on one vertical and one horizontal. So like, for example, if you look at the horizontal that we choose, that is deep marketing and personal branding, and one vertical that we choose is building personal brands. So I have seen very successful digital marketing agencies focusing only on one thing. Like, for example, they just go ahead and be a digital marketing agency for automobile companies, or they become a digital marketing agency just for the medical industry. And the world is very big. Even if you select one niche, you will not be able to go ahead and capture the entire market in that niche for a very long time. So at least for the next 5 to 10 years, you will be focused on only one area, and that will help you make a lot of money, and that might be all the money that you need. You might not need more money than that as well. So start with one niche and pick a niche where your strengths play out. Like, for example, I chose deep marketing as a concept because that's what I believe. Building a personal brand and telling a story and building the brand through a story is what I specialize in. I know digital marketing agencies who somehow understand the medical field better. So if you understand the medical field better, then go for hospitals and doctors and building brands for doctors. That could be one area where you could really start scaling. So this specialization in one field should eventually go ahead and rub off on your agency as well. So once you start a digital marketing agency, make the agency known for one thing and try to expand within that niche, and then go from there. So that is something that you can choose for your own journey, but that is completely optional. Obviously, you can go ahead and reach your stage by any route that you want. If you want to be a consultant, so for implementing digital marketing, I said you can do all this. So own projects is one area where you can start learning and implementing digital marketing. So own projects is one area, or you can work for someone else, right? Work for someone as an employee. So once you learn digital marketing and once you have a little bit of experience implementing it, using that, you can get a job or be a consultant, right? Be a consultant. So if you are a consultant and consulting other companies, slowly you can expand that into a digital marketing agency. Initially, you will just be giving off information as a consultant and advice, and then you can go ahead and start charging people for it, and then charge for implementation, which will be the agency. So if you are wondering how to get consulting projects, then obviously then you have to build your personal brand. So you are going to specialize in one field, right? So once you choose your field, then you start building your personal brand. So what are all the things involved in building a personal brand? You need a blog, You need to start writing regularly. You need to start doing guest posts. You need to start doing YouTube videos if you are comfortable appearing in front of the camera. And it is very important to appear in front of the camera. Like if you are a sales guy and if you are selling your digital marketing services to your clients, and if you are being a consultant, then obviously you need to sell. You need to put your face in front of the clients. And initially it was uncomfortable for me also to do those things, but eventually I got comfortable with it. So specialize in one field and build your personal brand. You can also go ahead and publish a book. You can speak at events, and you can do free consulting. So free consulting is an excellent way to go ahead and build your brand. Initially, during the early days of my career, I used to consult a lot of startups for free. So what I would do is that I would go ahead and look at their website and identify the digital marketing mistakes that they are doing on their website. And I would go ahead and send a mail to them telling them, hey, these are the mistakes that you are doing and you need to correct it. And then I get some attention, and then they are like, okay, Deepak knows what he is talking about. This is one guy that I need to pay attention to. And then once you have a book published in one area where you are specializing, let's say you are specializing in SEO, then go ahead and publish a book on SEO. You don't need a publisher. You can go ahead and self-publish your book as well. And I guess I have shown you my book. So I have published a book on entrepreneurship. This book is not necessarily to get clients, but this was just a passionate project that I want to involve in, and I wanted to see the process of going ahead and publishing a book myself. And this book has been self-published. It is through Notion Press, and you can see there are 106 reviews and 4.8 stars average rating. So you can go ahead and publish a book like this. Like for example, if you publish a book based on SEO, then if it has good ratings on Amazon, and then you can go ahead and send this book to your potential clients. And nobody throws away a book. People throw away business cards, people throw away brochures, people delete emails, but nobody throws away a book, because since our childhood we have always been taught to respect books, and books are sacred, right? So that way, if you have written a book, then you can go ahead and send it to your potential clients, build your personal brand, and start getting clients for your digital marketing agency. So this is a sample journey. You can do this, and I see plenty of opportunity for people to build a personal brand. Like for example, there are, how many people are there, do you think, who have books on SEO? So if I just search for, let's say, SEO books, you will see a bunch of books, but nothing significant, nothing that is standing out. Like here you have only 3 ratings, you have only 5 ratings. There is fundamentals of digital marketing. Like if you look at SEO specific books, there are only 3 books, and they are not even that great. So if you go ahead and really write a good book about SEO based on your research, it need not be based on your implementation, but based on your research, then you would definitely make some sales. But the point here is not to go ahead and make sales and make revenue from your book on SEO. The focus is to go ahead and try to establish yourself as an expert or an authority, so that your clients are impressed. Like how many digital marketing agency owners walk around with a book in their hand? Even if you go to a client meeting, give one book there, and the book is going to stay there, and it's going to remind them about you, right? So that's my journey, and that's how you can design your journey. And now let's talk about starting your agency, right? Starting your agency. So there are a bunch of things you need to consider while you are going to start your digital marketing agency, and we will talk about some of the important points. So let me collapse this. So starting your agency, you need to pick your niche. So pick your niche and be known for one thing. So that is the most important thing when you are starting your agency. And that is something you might have already done with your personal brand as well, right? When I said you have to build your personal brand, you are going to go ahead and specialize in one niche, and then go ahead and make yourself known in that niche. So when you are going to establish an agency, then you need to follow a similar way, because a brand has to be known for one thing. So first you pick your niche, and then you name your company. So when you are naming your company, you should make sure that the name has a possibility of expansion. Like for example, if you look at Pixel Track, so Pixel Track stands for performance marketing, and what we are basically defining is that we are tracking all the pixels that are going to be tracked. Like for example, you have Facebook pixel, you have Google pixel. So pixel is basically a conversion tracking code, and we are focused on running conversion optimized campaigns because we are a performance marketing agency, and apart from deep marketing, we are also focused on performance marketing, right? That is the core. It's not the niche, but the core of what we do. So when you look at Pixel Track right now, we are focusing on deep marketing, which is personal branding and marketing for personal brands and building people's personal brands. But at the same time, as a company name, since it defines only performance marketing as the name, then it is having a possibility that tomorrow we can expand the agency into other areas as well if we think that there is a possibility. So for a long time we will be sticking to deep marketing and personal brands, but in the long term we can expand also. So that way you can go ahead and name your company in such a way that it is not restricting the expansion of the niche in the future. So let's say you are starting a digital marketing agency just focused on automobile companies. Don't name the company which is related to automobiles. Don't call it automobile digital blah 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 or something like that, where tomorrow if you want to, let's say, do digital marketing for some other verticals, let's say the medical industry or the insurance industry or something else, then if you are going to do that, the name should not be preventing you. The name should not be restricting you from expansion. So when you are naming the company, keep it generic. And when you start to brand your company, brand it as a company known for a specific niche. And then you can go ahead and start expanding to other verticals. Like for example, when you look at Flipkart, then if you look at their journey, initially Flipkart just started with books, and it was known as a online ordering company where you can order books and they delivered the books very fast, and that's was my first order in Flipkart as well. So then they started adding stationaries, then they started adding cosmetics and all those different verticals they started adding. And now Flipkart is like a $1 billion company competing with Amazon directly, right? So imagine if Flipkart had named their company as Bookcart, which is an online e-commerce site for ordering books, then they would not be able to sell anything more than books, right? So the name should not restrict you. The domain name is very important. So if it is a domain name, then I prefer that as much as possible you try to get the .com version. For our business, we registered pixeltrack.com. In fact, it was not available for registration. We just had registered pixeltrack.in for a while, and then we moved to pixeltrack.com. We had to buy pixeltrack.com as a premium domain name. So I would recommend a .com. I would recommend 2 words so that it is easy to pronounce and easy to remember. So you see pixel and track, easy to spell. So don't try any funny spellings. Don't replace S with Z. Don't put double letters inside and things like that. So it should be easy to spell. So basically I would say that it should pass the phone test. So if you are telling the domain name to someone on the phone, they should not be asking you to spell it out, right? So no numbers. Don't put any numbers or hyphens in your name or the domain name. And then make sure that the words are relevant to your company. So there are very successful digital marketing agencies. Like for example, my friend, he runs a digital marketing agency called shootorder.com, and it's a very funny different name. You can go with some name like that as well if that's your style. So name your company, and then you have the government registration, right? So government registration, you need to register your company and you need to form a company, right? So before we get here, let's talk about having partners. So do you want to run the agency as a single person, or do you want a business partner is something for you to decide. So running the agency solo has a lot of challenges. You need to do everything, right? You need to do everything by yourself. You cannot split responsibilities, and you will have no one to share ideas with. So as entrepreneurs, we always get carried away with some idea, and we are not always rooted in reality when we are coming up with new ideas, and that's common because we are always trying to expand the possibilities in the world and get into new realities, and we always try to imagine new things and bring it into reality. But at the same time, you need to have your foot inside reality, because through existing realities is when you go ahead and build on that reality to go ahead and create new realities. So when you have a co-founder, you can share ideas with him or her and discuss how you are going to take the expansion of the company and what is the route to make your dreams become reality, right? And that is very important. So in my book Edge of Sanity, I have talked about balancing realism and idealism. So balancing realism and idealism. So realism is basically rooted in reality and looking at what is working, what is not working, and working based on that. And idealism is something that you are dreaming and trying to bring into reality. So you need a balance of that. Like for example, Elon Musk wants to go to the Mars, and Elon Musk is balancing idealism and realism, where he is rooted in reality and he is working with the resources he has to eventually make going to Mars a reality. But there are plenty of people in history and in the previous past 10-20 years have tried to go ahead and go to Mars, but they were not rooted in reality. They were just dreaming about it, and they did not have the resources to go ahead and actually implement it. So right now, if you look at Elon Musk's projects, he is not straight away building a rocket so that he can go to Mars, because nobody is going to fund that project, and it's too risky. So he is building a space company, and as a space company, he is providing services to other governments as satellite launch services, and he is making revenue from that. And using that revenue, he is going to invest in creating spaceships which can possibly go to Mars in the next 1 or 2 decades. So it is very important to balance your idealism and realism, and it is best if you get a co-founder who is a realist if you are an idealist, and if you are a realist, go and get a co-founder who is an idealist. So you need balancing forces for being rooted in reality and aiming for growth and trying to grow. So this is very important in my business. See, I am more like an introvert, and I'm very nice to people. I don't reprimand people. I don't create structures and processes. I am more like a blank canvas painter and more involved in strategizing the entire business. My co-founder takes care of the team, he takes care of hiring, and he makes very hard decisions with other people which I cannot. So that way we are complementing each other. And that being said, it's also very difficult to manage a co-founder. It is as complex as a married relationship, if not worse. But it also has its benefits, because if you are not doing it with someone, entrepreneurship can become quite a lonely journey. So if you are having partners, and then if you are registering a company, then you need to go ahead and form the right partnership structure. So in fact, I would put it here. So naming your company, we have already discussed. Now let's say talk about registering the company. So you have different types of company structures. So you have sole proprietorship. I hope I spelled it right. Sometimes it's difficult to get the simplest of spellings right, I'm telling you. So yeah, proprietorship. So proprietorship is basically being a sole owner of the business and going ahead and running the business by yourself. So if you don't have a partner, you can start a sole proprietorship business. If you have a partner, you can register a partnership firm which is not legally registered and not legally protected. The other type of company is LLP, and then you have a private limited company. So as you become a private limited company, then the amount of compliances that you have to follow is very high. And if you are having a private limited company, then it is recommended that you have a full-time accountant working with you who will do all the accounting, GST filing and everything. And yeah, you have GST registration as well as the part of the company registration. So if you look at, let's say, company formats, so these are the different types of company formats we have. And when it comes to a private limited company, you can have multiple directors. Right now, me and my co-founder are the directors of the company. And then you have GST registration. So GST for services, especially digital marketing services, is 18%. And let's say if you are charging 1 lakh per month to your client, you would charge 1 lakh plus GST, which is 1.18 lakhs you will charge. And then you have to balance your input credit and output credit. So let's say you have 1 lakh in income. So that means you will be having 1.18 lakhs including GST. So this amount that you charge, which you have to pay against your GST number online to the government, can be balanced off with the expenses that you have. So if you have 50k in expenses, then you would be paying 50k plus GST, which is 59k including GST, right? So since during purchase of products and services you have already paid the 9,000, you can balance it off. So you don't need to pay 18,000 in taxes, you just need to pay 9,000 in taxes, because 9,000 you have already paid when you are doing expenses. So that is called input credit and this is called output credit. I will not go too deep into it, but if you work with your chartered accountant or a finance professional, you would understand. So a GST registration number is very important. If you are exporting your services, then you need IEC, which is import export code. So if you have an import export code, then you will be able to go ahead and sell services internationally. So that is also something you can ask your CA or finance professional to get the import export code. So that is important. And then when you are starting an agency, you need an office or a workspace to work out of. So right now, the simplest way to do it is remote work, right? So remote work from your home and work with a bunch of freelancers and start your digital marketing agency. So whatever you need with digital marketing agency. So for example, content. You have people who will write content, you will have design, you will have ad management, you will have analytics. So all these different types of categories of work, right? Work verticals, let's say. All these different types of work can be done from home, and you can start with remote work, right? So once you have enough work for a full-time person, then you can start hiring full-time people. And until you have full-time people, you don't need an office. So you can start with a 2 BHK house 2 BHK. So if you start with a 2 BHK house, then you can have space up to like 5 or 10 people to work out of there. Don't have any boards or don't have any commercial establishment. And it's a very efficient way to start working if you start working out of a 2 BHK house. And then once you grow from there, then you can rent a co-working space. So you have seen that there are so many co-working space nowadays in all the major cities where startups work. So if you have like a team of 3 or 4 people, it is best to take a co-working space. It might look costly for 1 or 2 people initially, but it gives you the flexibility, it gives you the peace of mind. You don't need to go ahead and manage the internet, the electricity, the cleaning, the security and all those things. So that is something you need to go ahead and consider. And then once you expand, then you can get a commercial space. So commercial space and co-working spaces, all this will attract GST, and on top of it you have to spend a premium because these are commercial spaces and government is going to charge them commercial electricity and commercial taxes. So So commercial space is only when you have like 20 plus people. So if you have 20 plus people, you can go ahead and start having a commercial space. So this is your roadmap. Initially, just start working yourself, start working from home, have a remote team, have freelancers. Don't commit to anything when you are starting an agency. You have to be extremely lean because this is a service based business. Nobody is going to give upfront investment for an agency to have like a large upfront capital to operate, to run and grow your agency. So be extremely frugal. I know a lot of people who have started digital marketing agencies, and just when they started, they went ahead and invested some 20 lakhs, got like a fancy office, hired a lot of people, and then they found out that they are not making enough revenue to pay for all these expenses, and then they get out of the agency with losses. So I definitely don't want that to happen to you. And there is no startup capital that you need when you are starting a digital marketing agency. You just need a website, you just need to be working for yourself, and then just go ahead and start making some money and start reinvesting money. Stay light, have low expenses. Do not withdraw any money from your agency as a salary, at least for 1 year. So be free for 1 year for your agency. So that is very important. And for your agency, you come as free, but obviously you have to work hard. You can't be free, right? So that is very important. And then slowly, once you start making revenue, you start increasing your expenses as well, increase your investment. You start hiring people, you start investing in infrastructure, branding, people, and all those things. And if you have enough savings to sustain yourself, then nothing like it. Have some side income source which keeps paying you, and then keep growing your company. So all this you need to keep in mind, and I'm telling you all this is coming from my experience. And if you talk to other digital marketing agency owners who are very successful, they would say the same thing. They started extremely light. They started focusing on one particular niche. And they just started, and it takes a few years. It would take at least 2 to 3 years for you to get well established inside the market. And don't give up. Many times it will feel like you might fail, but you shouldn't give up. So when I started my digital marketing journey, there were different ways to make money. So I will talk a little bit about why a digital marketing agency. So if you are starting a digital marketing agency, obviously you are starting a business, and the primary purpose of creating a business is to create value and create wealth, not just for your customers and your team members and your investors, but create wealth for yourself as well, right? So there are multiple ways to make money. Like for example, when I started my journey, I started looking at what are the different ways I can make money. One way looked like, hey, I can be a blogger, influencer, and then go ahead and write a lot of blogs and then get enough traffic and make money from ads. So that's how I started my journey. And then I discovered that as a publication company, there are huge challenges in making money from advertising. And advertising revenue is something that keeps going down over time, because online advertising is not a very sustainable business. And most of the advertisers do not get an ROI by running display ads. And then I looked at working as a consultant and working as an employee. So in both of these cases, the biggest challenge is that it is not scalable, and you cannot scale it fast. You will start making good money very fast as a hi-fi employee and as a hi-fi consultant, but from there you cannot scale. Digital marketing agency is something that you are building a brand. You can have a lot of clients, you can have a lot of employees, and you can go ahead and start leveraging multiple resources. So when you talk about leverage, so leverage gives you the advantage to go ahead and make more money. And leverage is basically, if you have heard about this quote where Archimedes said that if you give me a lever long enough and a place to place it, then I can move the world, right? So that's what is leverage. So if you have to do big things, then you need to do leverage. And there are different types of leverages. One is time leverage, one is capital leverage, and then you have people leverage, and then you have automation. So time leverage is basically something like if you have started something early and then you have the first mover advantage, that is time leverage. Like for example, I have been in the digital marketing industry for the past 10 years and that gives me some leverage. Capital is basically the time, energy and money capital that you can invest. The more capital you can invest upfront, then the better solid foundation you can create. That is one leverage. And then you have people leverage. So people leverage is what you are going to leverage when you are going to create a company and a digital marketing agency, because if you have 10 people, then these 10 people, if they are working as freelancers individually, then they are not going to make that much money because they cannot create that much value. So let's say you have 10 people individually working as freelancers and all these 10 people make 50,000 rupees a month because they are creating 50,000 rupees worth of products and services. If you put all these 10 people together, it's going to cost you 5 lakhs a month to pay salaries as 50,000 per month for 10 people. But out of this investment of 5 lakhs, you will probably get like 10 lakhs out, because that is the magic of teamwork. When multiple people get together as a team, and if each person specializes on one thing, which is division of labor, then you are going to create much more value, and that much more value is what you get as a profit. So you have people leverage. And then you have automation leverage. So automation is basically robots waiting to take your orders. And we will talk more about leverages in a different context. But so that is why you have to start a digital marketing agency. And there is a huge opportunity. So we teach digital marketing, we do blogging, we sell information products, we do affiliate marketing. There are multiple ways to make money online. But as a digital marketing agency, you have possibility of much bigger scale to create a big company and start getting big contracts from big brands. Like we have been getting contracts from Your Story, Mercedes-Benz and all these big companies, and you cannot get such big contracts if you are like an individual or a freelancer or do consulting, and you are basically leaving out such big money on the table. And let me tell you, it is not rocket science and it's not very difficult to go ahead and get a very big brand to work with you. And we will be talking more about, how to create proposals, how to reach out to people, how to convert clients and all those things. We talked a little bit about, personal branding and how personal branding can help you go ahead and get big clients. But we will talk more about that. And what I have realized in my journey is that you just need to create good work, and you just need to have that edge in terms of quality, in terms of your communication and in terms of your personal brand. And if you are very clear about the value that you are providing for a big corporation, the big corporation they have a lot of money, and they are making millions and billions in profits, so they are going to invest that money to further profit and to grow further. And that is the opportunity that you have. So you have opportunity in multiple industries. So multiple industries are looking for digital marketing help right now, and they are not finding enough people. This is true because the industry is still not very organized, and there are a very few digital marketing agencies who are pure performance marketing agencies. Most of the digital marketing agencies in the country today are remnants of the traditional ad agencies, and traditional ad agencies basically do not understand the funnel, do not understand sequential communication. Traditional ad agencies used to go ahead and put up ads in TV, newspaper, radio, magazines and all these places, and they treat internet as another billboard. So if you look at it, video ads on TV have become video ads on YouTube. Print ads on newspapers and magazines have become banner ads on websites. And everybody knows that this kind of interruption marketing is not working very well with the new age internet users. So we have 400 to 500 million internet users in India, and people have moved from consuming content from traditional media and they have started consuming content in mobile devices and laptops and desktops, right? So businesses want to reach consumers where they are hanging out, and digital marketing is the way to reach consumers. Is much more efficient. It is something that you can measure as well. So there are opportunities in multiple industries and multiple verticals, and you also go ahead and end up building something of value that can be sold. So build and sell a company. So I know a digital marketing agency called Web Chutney, which was sold for more than 100 crores to Dentsu, and big digital marketing agencies like Dentsu, who are like having an international chain of digital marketing agencies, can also buy your company. So as a personal brand, you will never be able to sell your company, right? Because you are the personal brand and the money is based on what you are doing. But when you are building a brand, which is a digital marketing services company, the company itself becomes valuable over time in a period of 5-10 years, and somebody else can acquire the company, and that will give you a big exit. So, even if someone acquires your company for like 10 crores or 20 crores, then that's going to be life changing money, which will change your lifestyle forever and possibly for the next generation as well. So that is one more reason why you should start a digital marketing agency. First, you have the leverage, and then you have the opportunity to go ahead and provide digital marketing services for multiple industries. And there are so many verticals right now that you can choose one vertical and become known for that vertical, and then go ahead and start making money. So you are also going to gain a lot of experience. So a lot of people keep saying that they want to build a product company because it is very difficult to run a services company. I do not deny the fact that it is difficult to run a services company. You definitely have to treat your clients like your bosses, and you just don't have one boss, but you will have like 5-10 bosses. If I have like 5 clients, then basically they are like 5 bosses, and if there is any complaint, they are going to reach out to me. Until in the early stages, until I have like a dedicated account manager for each of these clients, and I have to answer to them. And if there is a work on a weekend, then I have to do that work. But it is also safe, income safety is going to be there, because if you are in a job and then if you get fired from your job, then you are not going to be able to make any money until you find another job. But if I have 5 clients, and if one client stops working with me, I still have 4 clients which will continuously keep paying me, and I can find one more client within the next 3 months and start having 5 clients. So you are basically putting your eggs in multiple baskets, and as a digital marketing agency, you have much more stability than being an employee. So income safety is very important, and experience helps you understand the market opportunity. So when we do digital marketing agency services for our clients, we are able to basically learn from their money, right? They are investing the money, we are running the campaigns for them, and we are getting a very clear understanding of which markets work in which way, in which market the opportunities are there, in which market the opportunities are not there, how it works for B2B clients, how it works for B2C clients, and all those things we are able to learn. And this experience is eventually leading us to creating more products and productizing our services as well. So productizing the service is very important for you to scale your agency to the next level, and we will talk about productizing the services more in the future modules of this course. But you gain critical experience. If you are gaining some experience working as a digital marketing manager in different companies, you would gain even more experience if you are running a digital marketing agency and are having multiple clients. So we have worked with real estate, we have worked with food e-commerce companies, we have started working with personal brands, and through this experience we have understood that the market lacks enough services for personal branding. So we chose deep marketing as our niche, and this has come from the experience of handling multiple clients. And we have found that our strength is not e-commerce, our strength is more of bringing the personal brands out and building personal brands. So there are other digital marketing agencies who do digital marketing exclusively for e-commerce. There are digital marketing agencies who exclusively focus on paid advertising. So this experience is very important. So even if you want to start a product company, you have to do digital marketing for that, right? You have to expand your products and services using digital marketing, and having a digital marketing agency initially helps you gain that critical understanding and get that critical mass of information and execution and results to get that experience. So you understand the market opportunity and you understand your niche, so your niche will become even more crystallized. So when we talked about starting an agency, we talked about picking your niche. So if you are not really clear about what is the niche that you are going to work on, start with a little bit of a broader perspective. Start having a few clients, and once you have a few clients, you can go ahead and understand what is your strengths and go ahead and crystallize and finalize your niche. So that is another area. And you are creating employment, so that's a great thing, right? India is a country where the employment rates are still low, and that's a noble thing to do. If you start a digital marketing agency and if you are providing services for clients, you are also providing a lot of opportunity for your team. And right now we have 10 people working in our company, including co-founders, and it's a lot of fun. We go out for parties almost every 2 weeks, and we have a social structure here where people understand each other, people are friends with each other, and they also enjoy their work. And you are creating opportunity, and tomorrow this also creates a foundation to build a very large company. And we are also planning to do CSR activities and do something to give back to the society. So you have plenty of reasons to start a digital marketing agency. I don't think that I need to convince you on the opportunity of running a digital marketing agency. And here you are also creating a system where the system can work without you. We will be talking a lot more about the processes and systems that you have to establish inside your digital marketing agency, so that tomorrow the agency is not completely dependent on you. So once you create systems, you are creating a real business that can be sold to another company only when the business can operate without you being in the system. So you go ahead and create the systems and let the system run the company. You don't run the company directly by yourself. So let's have a short recap of what we have discussed in this video so far. So we had a look at my journey from which you can take inspiration from. So I started as a blogger, then I worked in a bunch of companies as a digital marketing manager, and now I am running a trading business, an agency, and a SaaS company. So you can start a similar journey. You don't need to have such a long journey. So my journey is like nearly 11 years long. You can start with a blog. You can start with personal branding yourself in a particular area of digital marketing, and then go ahead and work in a company or two, learn digital marketing, and then you can come out and start a digital marketing agency, or you can straight away start a digital marketing agency as well. So I told you my story just to show you how I got here, where I got. Does not mean necessarily that you have to follow the same journey. You can have your own unique journey, and I would recommend having enough experience first before you start working with clients, rather than just learning. So whether you learn the experience through your own projects, or whether you learn through consulting, or working with someone for free, or an internship, or working in a job, it does not matter. The important thing to consider is that you have to gain some experience, and then you have to use that experience to implement and get results for your clients. So that can be your journey. You can learn digital marketing, implement, specialize in one field, and build your personal brand. Building your personal brand should be a very long-term thing, where you are going ahead and trying to establish your personal brand through multiple content assets that you are creating over time. So make sure that you keep learning new things, and that is something I have not added. Keep learning. So keep learning. I would recommend you learn something new for 1 hour every day. And right now you are watching this video, which is learning for you, definitely. And glad that you have taken the step to learn. But imagine the amount of things and insights and ideas and direction that you have got just by watching this video for 1 hour. And imagine if you can learn every day like this, then over time you will really have a very high competitive advantage, right? When we were talking about leverage, what you have as a leverage is going to be knowledge as well. So let's add knowledge here. So knowledge is a huge leverage. So you will be able to compete with other people, and you will be able to be better than other people if you have knowledge. So keep learning. And when you are building your personal brand, when you are blogging, creating guest posts, YouTube videos, you are basically writing about what you have learned and experienced, right? So when you create content to build your personal brand, you are also learning what you have already learned in a better way, because when we learn new things, it is usually organized in our brain in a very unorganized way. It is stored in our brain in an unorganized way, and when we have to explain the same thing to someone else, you have to go ahead and force the structure of those content in a way that other people can understand. And when you create a structure out of it, you are going to remember whatever you know in a much better way. Like for example, creating the digital marketing agency mastery course and teaching you how to start a digital marketing agency makes me much better in running my digital marketing agency, because whatever is there about the agency, I am able to learn it in a much better way. Like for example, you saw that this entire mind map was created as I was creating this video, and this is all in my mind. It's all in my mind in a very unorganized way, and when I go ahead and put it down and teach it, then I have to structure the information, right? So when I am structuring the information, I am understanding the entire concept better, and that's the benefit that you are going to get while you are building your personal brand. So it's a double benefit. You are learning what you have learned in a much better way, but you are also teaching about it, and as teaching, you are going to get good karma. You are helping other people, and that's good karma. And you are also going to build your personal brand, because when you teach, people would come to you for learning and information, just like you are coming to me. And that is one of the benefits of building a personal brand. So do not take it lightly. Keep learning, and you will also be forced to learn new things because you are building your personal brand, because you are teaching other people. Like for example, if you are going to make a YouTube video on a case study, then you are going to refer more case studies from the web. And because you are building your personal brand, you learn. Because you learn, you can also build your personal brand. So it's a cyclical thing, and you should take complete advantage of that. Then we talked about starting your digital marketing agency. We talked about picking your niche, and then we talked about whether it is important to have a partner. What are the disadvantages when you have when you have to do it solo? So when you have a co-founder, so you have someone to share ideas, and you can split the responsibilities. So you can split the responsibilities, you can share the ideas, and you can most importantly have a devil's advocate, because not all ideas that we come up with are good ideas, and sometimes we need to have a devil's advocate who will say that this idea is not good, and you have to try to convince them, and while you try to convince them, you will get more points, right? So I would not recommend having more than one co-founder. Having one co-founder who owns 50% of the company is good enough. Then we talked about naming the company and how we named the company as Pixeltrack. We talked a little bit about domain names, how it has to be easy to spell, it has to be 2 words, it has to be a .com, and all this is very important when you are choosing a domain name. We talked a little bit about government registration, the company format. So you have sole proprietorship, partnership, LLP, private limited, and then obviously you have a public company as well. But public company is not something you need to worry about when you are starting an agency. When 10 years down the line, you can decide to go public, and you can raise money from the public. So all that is there. So you have GST registration. So GST registration is 18%, and that's the GST rate for services. And we talked a little bit about how you have to do input credit and output credit. So this is something you can learn more directly from your finance professional. If you are exporting services to other countries, you need an import-export code, and that's not very important when you get started. It's important when your revenue crosses a certain limit. For that also your CA will advise. We talked about how important it is to start light and not invest in an office right away. You start with working with freelancers in all these different verticals because you will not have that much work right now. If you have just 2 clients and if you hire full-time employees, then the designer or the content writer will not have his plate full and you will be paying extra salaries. So start with freelancers. Start with a 1 or 2 BHK house, or sometimes 3 BHK house. 2 or 3 or 4 BHK house is fine for a startup office. Then you have a co-working space, so you can go ahead and plug and play. And then you can go ahead and have a commercial space where you have to invest in interiors, invest in branding and all those things. So that is going to be in a much later date. So we talked about office, and we talked about how you need to have savings for at least 1 year for your agency, so that you can go ahead and be free for your agency, so that you are not a cost to the agency, preventing the growth of your own agency, right? So that is very important. So that we discussed about, and we also discussed about why you should be starting a digital marketing agency. So you have leverage, you have time, capital, people, automation, and knowledge leverage. So here people leverage is the most important thing that you are going to tap into when you are starting a digital marketing agency. There is a lot of opportunity, so that is why you should start a digital marketing agency. You will gain experience while you are working with other clients. You will see things you have not seen, and that is priceless. You get a lot of validated learning from it. You will have multiple clients, so you will have income safety, and you are creating employment for your team members and other people as well. So that is also very important when you are starting a digital marketing agency. You can come up with new ideas and new reasons why you should be starting a digital marketing agency. Like, you can just be passionate about digital marketing, and that could be one major reason why you would want to start a digital marketing agency. And you want to create a lot of wealth as well, right? So you will be able to create a wealth, and you can tomorrow sell your entire company to some other bigger agency, and that could also be an excellent opportunity to make money out of your digital marketing agency. So even if you don't make any profit at all for a very long time, if you keep expanding your revenue and if you keep expanding your client base, all this become assets, and you will be making money by selling the entire company rather than trying to withdraw a heavy salary from your company. So people buy other companies for the amount of revenue, the clients they already have, the team that they already have built, and not necessarily for the monthly profit that they are making, because very big digital marketing agencies are not looking to acquire agencies to increase their monthly profit, but they are planning to acquire agencies so that they can expand their total skills and the value proposition they have, and they know how to optimize it to increase the total revenue of the business. So you don't need to worry about that. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned a lot from this video. I hope you have got plenty of ideas. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below. This course is going to be a very in-depth, very dynamic course. So I'm going to create the videos based on your feedback and what you want to learn. And probably over time, I will keep adding more content to this course, whatever questions you have. So my goal is to make sure that you go ahead and start an agency, grow it, become profitable, and become a success story. I feel that the opportunity for starting digital marketing agencies and the amount of clients that you can find out in the market is so much that even if you start a digital marketing agency, even if 100 students or 500 students start a digital marketing agency, then it's not necessarily going to affect what I am doing and the amount of revenue that I am making. So that is my goal, and that is my goal, to create an impact by helping people create digital marketing agencies. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.